guys, and welcome back to Serials, the PNN webcast series that chronicles your stories. I'm super excited to introduce you to the woman that we're interviewing today. Her name is bEe Jellyfish. She was a finalist in the Public Radio Talent Quest, and she's been up to all kinds of cool stuff since then. So let's have a chat with her.
This is bEe Jellyfish, and I'm on PNN.
All right. So you recently participated in the Public Radio Talent Quest, correct?
Yes, I did.
So how was that contest for you?
For me, it was unexpected. I didn't really expect to be on the Public Radio Talent Quest. It was literally a week before submissions could be submitted, and I got mine in at the last minute. I had heard from a friend. We had seen This American Life. We went to the tour, and we were reading about Ira Glass, and he had just mentioned it in an interview. So I hopped on it. I was already participating in radio FM style, but nothing like public radio, where my heart is, and this was a way to get into it. So I made a segment and uploaded it, and then got a call back. So that was amazing.
To me, when I was listening to the other 10 finalists, you seemed very different from the other ones to me. I mean, and that's, a compliment. But it's not like an uncompliment against the others either.
No, I felt that. That's interesting. That's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Did you see yourself as different as well? And
I saw myself as the youngest contestant. As far as different is concerned, I don't feel any different from them. I felt like we were all in the same boat.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. For me, there was something about your style, even just like the tone of your voice. That it was just, it stood out for me. So.
That's awesome. I think I am kind of numb to it.
What do you mean by
voice.
that? Oh, your voice.
Yeah, I don't know. I get it a lot, and I'm really appreciative to, and I'm really excited that people love to listen to my voice. It's quite different from when you're growing up and people are like, bite your tongue. So it's very validating in my adulthood to have people like it. But yeah, I felt just like I was in the same boat as them, and if not a little bit less experienced.
So I've talked to a few of the other contestants, and something that they've brought up is that they weren't really sure, in some cases, what exactly the judges were looking for. Whether, I've talked to some people that were more seasoned in radio going in, and some that were a little bit newer. Yet they were, everyone was in the same contest looking for the new voice of public radio. Did you ever experience anything like that?
Yeah, I remember thinking, where do I go from? And you can sit and read the judges' profiles. You can figure out where they're from. But the only thing that I really focused on as far as trying to hit the nail on the head with my submissions were to just focus on what it was that I wanted, to manifest it in my head, to see it, to really breathe it in and out and put it through my mind, body, and spirit. So that's my only tactic I had. But I can honestly say I bombed the second round real bad. But it was such a great learning experience. It was awesome, and it got me the contacts I need in order to continue my career in public radio.
So why do you think that happened in the second round?
I know personally, I got totally nervous. I've always had a huge fear of reading out loud to people, and I do it on air all the time, and I don't know what it is. Like, when I'm not thinking about it, it was no big deal, but I had never auditioned, never done anything like that. So I think that it kind of really threw me off guard, and I remember the week before when they had told us what our next challenge was, I was, carrying a book around reading out loud to everyone, and they were really getting worn into it, but I did it because I wanted to practice, but then still when the, lights went on, I got a little stage fright. And it happens to everyone, and it finally happened to me.
Yeah, I understand that. So what are you doing now that the contest is over?
Well, now that the contest is over, I went back to FM, my Love Advice show, for a little bit, and then now I'm venturing out in the world. I'm doing a podcast right now called Daily Lights, and you can check it out at dailylights.com. It's also, you can get it on your iTunes as a podcast, and it's just a concise daily podcast that changes subject all the time. We cover different things. We always take suggestions as well. We've been doing it since October, I believe. And, yeah, you can go on there, and every day there's a new one to download. I'm also working on just doing different things. Like right now I'm currently in New York and working on, like, a movie as an extra lady, just being, like, in a rocker band or whatever. So nothing has quite changed just yet, other than the fact that I get more contacts and emails from people in radio or who are interested in me doing their podcasts, and I'm really excited about that. And all of which have been because they say, I saw you on the Public Radio Talent Quest, and so that's a really helpful tool for me.
I'm sorry, did you say you were going to be an extra in a movie?
Yeah, that's what I'm currently working on right now.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, it's Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. And it's based on a novel where a young man asks a young lady to be his girlfriend for 5 minutes because he sees his ex walk in a door. And then suddenly they kiss and there's these explosions of love. And it goes through the anxiety of the first date. And it's back set here in New York, so.
That sounds so fun.
It is. It's so fun.
Because aren't you normally on the West Coast?
Yes.
Okay.
I am from Los Angeles, live in Los Angeles, but yeah. I travel around a lot.
All right. What's, like, one really important thing that you've taken away from this contest? I know you were talking about contacts earlier, but is there anything else? Anything you've learned?
Oh, definitely. I think that it was an awesome way to gauge the different things within myself, the different talents within myself that I need to work on. Also, the parts that I don't need to work on or focus on. I highly suggest to anyone, if you're even thinking about entering one of these things, to do it, to really just put yourself out there, because that's the only way you're going to do it. And you learn a lot when you jump into something. You see where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are and where you need to work on it. So, yeah, I took a lot from it, and it's inspired me to actually go practice auditions, like different live read ones in person, because I don't care if I'm on a commercial or a movie or something. That's not really that important to me as much as being on radio is important to me. So, and there's auditions every day on both the East and West Coast to just go read something for people, and you can hear what they think. And that's how I got the Nick and Nora thing. And so you get a little bit of work on the way, but you learn different routes to be able to work with yourself. So I guess that's what I took, yeah. Go check out dailylights.com and love it.